There's something very interesting about the fight between Gary Russell and Andy Hiraoka. Outside of biased commentating or biased commentary, Gary Russell fought through a lot of adversity. He showed what toughness looks like. Gary Russell was out for a whole year prior to his fight with Andy Hiraoka. Now, everybody knows that every fighter has to knock off some ring rust. Right from the jump, Gary Russell didn't get time to knock off ring rust because Andy Hiraoka presented a challenge for Gary Russell. Now, I'm not saying Andy Hiraoka was on that level, but he presented a challenge. Okay, he was game. He had a great game plan. He was in shape and he was ready for Gary Russell. However, the challenge wasn't just Andy Hiraoka. The challenge was the commentating as well. Gary Russell had to fight his opponent and the commentating. Sergio Moro did a poor job, a horrible job at that, at commentating that fight. He was pro Andy Hiraoka. Gary Russell did a lot of good work, and so did Andy Hiraoka. I believe that Gary Russell won that fight 8-4, or you can say 7-5. That round that Andy Hiraoka released a vicious body attack on Gary Russell was the round that I can say that he clearly won. But every other round that Andy Hiraoka had moments in, Gary Russell also had his moments as well. But the commentating crew was doing such a poor job with acknowledging Gary Russell's work. Gary Russell did great things even in a round that Andy Hiraoka had moments in. Now, Andy Hiraoka, I ain't got no problems with him. He's actually a pretty good fighter. See, the issue that I have with Japanese boxing is that they don't have any competition over there. They don't. See, let me show you something real quick. This is the issue with Japanese boxing. There's not enough competition there. This is why I don't rank these fighters like the Juntos and the Kenshiros of the world pound for pound, because they don't have a resume. Now, when you take a look at Andy Hiraoka's resume, it's pretty trash. There's nothing on here that you would say, damn, that was a pretty solid win. I mean, his win over Jin Sasaki was pretty cool, but who is Jin Sasaki nowadays? Nobody. Old Man Barroso was a pretty good win for Andy Hiraoka, but I mean, who the hell is Old Man Barroso? There's not enough talent over there to give, these fighters, these Japanese fighters, these top Japanese fighters, good work. That old saying that goes, iron sharpens iron. Well, they don't have an iron sharpener in Japan. They got okay fighters there, but they don't have iron to sharpen other iron. When you look at, Andy Hiraoka's resume, has always been my point. And usually when Japanese fighters are discovered, their resume is filled with other Japanese fighters. And this has been my point. Now Andy Hiraoka didn't experience a real challenge. Now he's going to go back to Japan and probably bring more American fighters to his training camp, because Gary Russell gave him a challenge. Gary Russell showed Andy Hiraoka something that he's never seen before. Gary Russell have seen Andy Hiraoka before. He fought someone on a level, or he fought someone similar to Andy Hiraoka. So we can't say, oh, Gary Russell ain't never seen Andy Hiraoka before. Yes, he has. This is why Gary Russell, in my opinion, won this fight. And so I think Andy Hiraoka would have won this fight if he would have had better preparation, meaning better sparring partner, or fought better competition leading up to his fight with Gary Russell. He would have won this fight against Gary Russell if that were the case. And the reason being is because the commentating crew was on his side. That's a fact. All Andy Hiraoka had to do was show that he was a step ahead of Gary Russell, and he would have easily won this fight. But the problem is that he didn't know how to get ahead of Gary Russell. That's because of who he has been fighting leading up to his fight with Gary Russell. Like I said, the commentating crew was pro Andy Hiraoka. A lot of people wanted Andy Hiraoka to win this fight. And for Gary Russell to come back after being off for a whole year, to jump right back into that type of action, it just goes to show you that here on this side of the pond, we just got a different breed of fighters over here. Gary Russell is a dog. I'm not saying he's the best fighter in the sport of boxing, but he's a dog. This man has been out for a whole year, and right from the jump, he went right back into the action. From the very first round, he jumped right back into the action. Didn't even give himself time to knock off the cobweb. And then he had the commentating crew speaking against him while being pro Andy Hiraoka. Like I said, I mean, when it comes to American fighters, this explains why American fighters are the best.